Hello folks, it's Sasha here, Fudo Evangelist, with another week's edition of interesting stories. What's going on around the world in the crazy world of security. So the first story is about hotels. The Radisson Hotel Group has been breached. So just a little primer for you. One of the largest hotel groups in the world. 1,400 hotels in 70 countries, massive organization. You probably stayed there before. So they were breached their loyalty and reward scheme. So all these customers, a lot of data there, addresses, apparently no financial data stolen in the breach. What'll be interesting here is because they are Brussels based, will this be an issue with GDPR? Was this done in time? So we'll see how that works out. So that's in the one of the main stories here. Then over to the US, it's the US Postal Service. A lot of data exposed through a flawed API. This affects about 16 million customers. So basically what happened here is that through this API that was flawed, and it doesn't really take much of a hacker to get into this. And apparently this had been reported over a year ago, but only quite recently, last week, it was again made clear to them by a cybersecurity expert, and now they've apparently tried to fix this flaw. Basically, this is about tracking packages. It was really easy. You could do this in Google Chrome. Didn't require a lot of skill there, so massive amounts of data floating around. But this has apparently been fixed now. Then over to Italy and certified Italian email accounts. There's a server near Rome that was breached by hackers. They're saying that this is not done in Italy, this is done from abroad, so some foreign actors, who knows who that might have been. So over 500,000 certified email accounts of public administration officials, maybe all the way up to security, magistrates, security officials. So they haven't actually released about how high that breach has actually gone. Of course, worrying, and probably one of the biggest breaches and security scares for Italy this year, for sure. Next up, we're going into the aviation industry. There's a nice interview you can watch here. It's about the future, the digital transformation. What does that mean for airlines? It's actually from a top CEO at one of the airlines based in Europe. What does it mean for CIOs? How is the transition happening? What you need to know. So interview you can watch there. Because of course, airlines have been in the news, a lot of big breaches as I've been reporting the last few weeks, from Cathay Pacific, and you name it, it goes on and on with these breaches. Then with our last story, we're going over to the UK and also connection to GDPR. So the ICO, which is the organization that deals with all this reporting, that they have to receive the reports. If there's a breach in a company, remember with GDPR, it means that there's 72 hours until a breach is reported. So they've just basically released this new report in Q2 that the amount of reports is massively up. It's up by almost 30% in the last 3 months, over 4,000 incidents. So word of caution though, caveat, don't worry, it doesn't mean that there are more breaches happening. It just means that they're actually being reported more often, which is actually a good thing, right? Slightly operationally bad news is that there's actually so many reports, up to 500 calls a day, that this is actually starting to overwhelm this authority. So we'll see how they deal with that. But of course, the good news is more people are reporting breaches. The awareness has grown because we've had so many high-profile cases. So this ultimately, I believe, is a good thing. So guys, that is your news wrap-up from cybersecurity for this week. I hope you have a good one. Have a wonderful week and stay safe.